The unpayable invoice, my dream's price tag in Czechia. Innovation. A beautiful word, isn't it? It speaks of progress, of a brighter future, of new ideas taking flight, changing the world. Here, in the heart of Europe, in our Czech Republic, you'd think we'd cherish it, nurture it, celebrate those who dare to dream, to build. But you would be wrong. So very wrong. Here, innovation carries a price so steep it's not just unbearable. It is quite simply unpayable for an honest soul. I learned this lesson the hard way. Oh yes, I poured my life, my savings, my everything into my work. Projects of global significance, they said. Built without a single crown of subsidy. No handouts, no state support. Just pure grit, pure belief in what could be. My own hands, my own mind, my own capital, painstakingly earned. I thought that was the right way, the noble way. How naive I was, how tragically mistaken. This isn't just a story of financial loss. No, it goes far deeper than that. It's about the destruction of a person, a family, the systematic dismantling of a life's work. My livelihood, my company, my very reputation, all ground into dust by a system that seems designed to crush, not to uplift, not to support, but to extinguish any spark that dares to shine too brightly. This is what innovation costs in Czechia, as of 2025. They say the cost is unbearable for scientific teams. I tell you, for an individual, it is utter liquidation. It's a slow, agonizing execution of your dreams, your property, your equipment, your tools, even your personal documents, your vehicles. Nothing is sacred, nothing is safe. All can be taken, all can be destroyed. And your family, they get to watch. They get to share in the devastation. This is the reality behind the glossy brochures. The labyrinth of no drowning in Czech bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Ah, the Czech national sport. A maze of corridors, all leading to dead ends. A mountain of paperwork designed to break your will. Every stamp, every signature, another wall to climb. You think you have a groundbreaking idea? Wonderful. First, fill out these forms, in triplicate, then wait, and wait some more. For a decision that will likely be no. Or worse, a conditional yes, so tangled in red tape, it strangles your project before it even breathes. The state, the local government, the endless array of officials, each one a gatekeeper, each one a potential roadblock, armed with regulations, obscure rules, often interpreted with a zeal that defies logic. Sometimes it feels with a zeal that defies the Constitution itself. Legal ignorance isn't a bug in this system. It feels like a feature, a weapon, wielded against those who dare to challenge. Those who dare to innovate outside the approved boxes. Boxes often defined by those who've never innovated a thing. My projects were not just ideas. They were tangible. They had global potential. But they ran afoul of this bureaucratic beast. This machine that feeds on compliance, not creativity. The sheer weight of it, the senselessness, trying to explain, to reason, is like shouting into a void. They don't understand, or perhaps they don't want to. Innovation requires agility, speed, flexibility. The Czech bureaucracy offers molasses, concrete, a slow grinding halt to any forward momentum. It's a war of attrition you are destined to lose. And it's not just incompetence. Oh no. It's the automation of absurdity. Unintelligible decrees, badly interpreted laws, applied with robotic precision, regardless of context, regardless of the human cost. The system is set up for failure. For your failure. As I've experienced these past 2 years, it's designed for it. It's not about fostering innovation. It's about maintaining control. About perpetuating the status quo. And woe betide anyone who tries to disrupt that. You become a target, a problem to be eliminated. When the state becomes the predator, my personal crucifixion. It started subtly, a minor issue here, a strange inquiry there, but soon the pattern became clear. The state was not my partner, not even a neutral observer. It had become my adversary, my predator. The very institutions meant to serve and protect, turned their sights on me, on my work, with a chilling efficiency, a terrifying focus. My projects, once a source of pride, became a liability. A beacon attracting the worst kind of attention. The kind that aims to dismantle, to destroy. Not with bombs or bullets, but with paper, with power. I have personally witnessed and endured what I can only describe as 3 court-tolerated practices. These are not abstract theories. This is my life since mid-2023. First, the liquidation and confiscation of property. Everything I had built, my tools, my materials, my intellectual property, my physical assets, seized, gone, vanished into the maw of the state. Under pretexts so flimsy, they would be laughable. If the consequences weren't so devastating. My company, my livelihood, torn apart piece by piece. No due process that felt real, just relentless pressure. Then came the second tactic, extortion and intimidation. Not in dark alleys by shadowy figures, but in official offices, by people in positions of trust, the veiled threats, the impossible demands, the constant fear of what they would do next. It's a psychological war, designed to break you, to make you give up, to make you surrender. They want you to understand your place, and your place is not to soar, it is to submit, or be crushed under the heel of their authority. And finally, the third pillar of this nightmare. The absolute untouchability of those abusing their power, and the complete deafening ignorance of your pleas. You cry out for help, for justice, silence. You point out the abuses, the illegalities, they look away. The system protects its own, always. The individual citizen, the innovator, the entrepreneur, you are expendable. Your rights, conditional. Your suffering, irrelevant. This is the gauntlet they make you run, and few, if any, emerge unscathed, or at all. Hollow promises, empty coffers, the farce of innovation support. You hear the grand pronouncements, don't you? Politicians on television, beaming with pride. We support innovation. We are building a modern Czechia. They speak of technology hubs, of startup funds, of a nation leading the charge into the future. It sounds wonderful, inspiring even. But scratch the surface, just a little, and you find a very different reality. A reality of empty words, of hollow gestures. A system designed to look good, not to do good. Real support for innovation, for new technologies? It's a mirage, a cruel joke played on the hopeful. What exists are proclamations, grandiose commitments, often translated into laws and regulations, without any real thought, without impact studies. Just more rules, more burdens, more obstacles. They talk about grants, about funding, but try to get it. Just try. You'll find yourself in another labyrinth. One designed to filter out the truly independent, the truly disruptive. The tenders, when they appear, are a masterpiece of cynical design, crafted to be virtually unattainable. Unless, of course, you know the right people, or, more commonly, unless you go through them. The intermediary agencies, the consultants, the facilitators. They hover like vultures around these public funds. They know how to navigate the system, how to play the game. Their price, a hefty slice of the pie. They suck the subsidies dry, leaving the innovator with crumbs. And all the obligations, all the risk, all the work, paid from your own pocket. So, the innovator, the one with the actual idea, the one doing the real work, taking the real risks, ends up financing the very system that claims to support them. It's a perverse cycle, a tragicomedy. You pay for the privilege of being allowed to innovate, and then you pay again when the system turns on you. This isn't support. This is exploitation. This is a betrayal of trust, a betrayal of the future they claim to be building. But they build it on broken dreams and empty promises, and the innovator foots the bill for their charade. Section 5, the tender deception, a game rigged from the start. Let's talk more about these tenders. These supposed opportunities. They appear like beacons of hope in the official gazettes promising resources for those daring to create. But they are often traps, cleverly disguised. The criteria? So specific, so narrow. You'd think they were written for one particular company. Funny how that works, isn't it? Or they are so complex, so demanding, requiring a team of lawyers and accountants just to apply. For a small innovator, a solo visionary, forget it, you're out before you even begin. And if by some miracle you qualify, if you pour weeks, months into a proposal that lays bare your intellectual property, your unique ideas, your competitive edge, you submit it into the void, hoping for the best. Then the real games begin. The delays, the requests for clarification, the shifting goalposts. The opaque decision-making. It's designed to wear you down, to make you pliable, to make you desperate enough to accept any terms, even terms that gut your project or your ownership. And those intermediary agencies I mentioned, they are the gatekeepers to this rigged casino. They thrive on this complexity, this opacity. They offer to help you navigate the process, for a substantial fee, of course, or a share of the grant. Often, a very large share. They become the true beneficiaries of innovation funding, not the innovators themselves, not the Czech economy, but a parasitic class of middlemen who produce nothing but paperwork and invoices. They drain the lifeblood from genuine projects. This system doesn't foster fair competition, it fosters cronyism. It rewards connections, not merit. It ensures that public money flows in predictable circles, often enriching those already well-positioned, while the true pioneers, the disruptive thinkers, are left out in the cold. Or worse, their ideas are harvested, their spirit broken. This isn't a pathway to progress. It's a carefully constructed barrier, a deception played out with taxpayer money. And the future of Czech innovation is the victim. Section 6. Justice for sale, the scales tipped by power and coin. Ah, justice, that noble concept. The blindfolded lady with the scales. In the Czech Republic, her blindfold seems to slip, especially when money and power enter the courtroom. Law and justice? They are commodities here, available to those who can afford the price tag. If you have deep pockets, influential friends, the law can be surprisingly flexible, accommodating. But if you are an ordinary citizen, an innovator without connections, prepare for a very different experience. Prepare for the full, unyielding force of the system. Personal property? They say it's protected, a cornerstone of a free society. But my experience tells a different story. It feels like personal ownership is a myth, a privilege granted and easily revoked, especially when your property is desired by others, or when making an example of you serves a purpose. My assets, my tools, my home, my vehicles, things I worked my entire life to build and acquire, treated as if they were nothing, confiscated, liquidated, with chilling ease. The courts, often, just a rubber stamp. And what about family? Privacy, the protection of children. These are sacred values, are they not? Apparently not to everyone in power. The system seems indifferent to these fundamental human concerns. Where is the urgency to protect the vulnerable? We lack basic laws, for instance, on prostitution, on pimping, on protecting children from exploitation and abuse. So these evils flourish, unchecked, unpunished, while the state focuses its resources elsewhere, often on hounding those who pose no real threat, like innovators or drivers. Presumption of innocence, the right to a fair trial, freedom of speech, even GDPR data protection. These are rights, they say, enshrined in law. But for whom do they truly apply? It seems these protections are reserved for a select few. For criminals, perhaps. For the powerful. But for the average citizen, the entrepreneur, the driver, these rights often feel like distant, unattainable ideals. You are presumed guilty. Your voice is silenced. Your data is fair game. This is the harsh reality of seeking justice, when you are just one person against the machine. Section 7. Guardians of Order, or Masters of Extortion. A run-in with the law. The police. P2R. Policy České republiky. They are supposed to be here to protect and serve. But who do they really protect? Whom do they serve? My encounters, and what I've witnessed, paint a disturbing picture, a picture far removed from the reassuring slogans. There seem to be no clear rules against the abuse of public power, or if there are, they are conveniently ignored, especially when it comes to extracting revenue from the pockets of ordinary citizens, under the guise of public safety, of course. Take road safety, for example, a noble goal, but it often feels like a pretext, a license for what I can only describe as street-level robbery. Officers trained, it seems, not just in traffic codes, but in the art of intimidation, in maximizing fines, causing traffic collapses with their safety checks, always operating in pairs, for tactical advantage. And if you can't pay the exorbitant fine on the spot, they call for reinforcements. Backup arrives. Suddenly you are surrounded, outnumbered. They take cards, they take cash, anything they might say. Is this safety, or sophisticated roadside extortion? They wield the act on police like a club, a justification for almost any action against a citizen. A citizen who is not a police officer, and thus has fewer rights. It's a shield for their behavior, a tool of power. And if you dare to resist, to question, be prepared for coercive measures. I've seen their equipment, I've faced it. Gloves with reinforced knuckles, not one, but two semi-automatic pistols, chambering 9 or 10mm rounds, dum-dum style, expanding bullets. Radios, nunchaku, a survival knife. This isn't just standard issue for a traffic stop. This is preparation for combat, against whom? I even secretly filmed one such intervention against me. A small policewoman initiates contact. Then the swarm, up to 6 other patrols called in, to encircle one person, one unarmed citizen, one innovator. This isn't policing. This is a show of force. This is intimidation. This is an abuse of power. Drivers, anyone with a driving license or a gun permit, we face daily harassment, constant surveillance, random checks, filming, fines, confiscation of documents, confiscation of property, frozen bank accounts. Night controls are relentless, extreme. This is the Czech Republic in 2025 for too many of us. Section 8. The human wreckage, picking up pieces of a shattered life. What is the ultimate cost of this war on innovation? This systemic abuse? This bureaucratic suffocation? It's not just measured in crowns and euros, it's measured in broken lives, in shattered dreams, it's measured in human wreckage. I am that wreckage, or a part of it. My projects, once vibrant with global potential, destroyed. My livelihood, carefully built over years, gone. My company, my trade license, annihilated. My property, the tools of my creation, my vehicles, my home, stripped away, confiscated, often with brutal indifference. Even my personal documents essential for basic existence, my reputation shredded, tarnished by insinuation, by the very act of being targeted by the state. My career, derailed, perhaps permanently. Who wants to associate with someone marked by the system? My finances, utterly ruined. Decades of work, of saving, of investing, wiped out, leaving behind debt and despair. And this was all built without subsidies, remember? Without a handout from the state I once believed in. Every screw, every wire, every line of code, paid for by my own sweat and sacrifice. Only to see it all taken. And the toll on my family, unspeakable. They have watched this nightmare unfold. Powerless. They have shared the stress, the fear, the uncertainty, the shame that the system tries to impose on you. Their lives, too, have been irrevocably damaged. This isn't just an attack on an individual. It's an assault on the family unit, on human dignity, the constant anxiety, the sleepless nights, the feeling of being hunted, of being alone. This is the personal cost they never mention. In their glossy reports on economic progress, this is the dark underbelly of their order. The system, in its relentless pursuit, doesn't just take your present, it steals your future. It aims to break your spirit, to silence your voice, to make you an example to others who might dare, who might dream of innovating, of challenging the status quo. They want you to disappear, to become a forgotten statistic. But I refuse to be silent. I refuse to be forgotten. My story is a warning, a testament, to the price of innovation in a system that has lost its way, lost its moral compass, and is actively devouring its own children. those who could build its future. Section 9. A glimmer in the abyss. A nation's soul on the line. So what now? After all this destruction, after the dreams have turned to ashes, is there any hope? A flicker in the darkness? Or is this just the way things are now? The new normal in our beloved Czech Republic, where innovation is a crime punishable by ruin, where bureaucracy is king and citizens are subjects, where justice wears a price tag and police act as enforcers, for a system that seems to fear its own people, especially those who think differently, who build, who create. It's a grim picture, I know, because I've lived it. Some might say, this is just one man's story, an isolated case, an exaggeration. I wish it were so. I truly do. But I fear my experience is a symptom of a deeper malaise, a rot within the system, a system that talks the talk of progress, but walks the path of oppression and stagnation. When the state actively works to destroy its innovators, its entrepreneurs, its forward thinkers, what future is it building? For whom? These are not idle questions. These are urgent. The very soul of our nation is on the line. Change is needed, desperately, fundamentally. Not just tinkering around the edges, not more empty promises. We need a system that truly supports innovation, not just with words, but with actions, with genuine opportunities. We need a bureaucracy that serves, not suffocates. We need a legal system that delivers justice for all, not just for the wealthy and connected. We need law enforcement that protects citizens, not preys on them. We need accountability for those who abuse power. Real accountability, not just internal inquiries that go nowhere. Perhaps this is a heartfelt plea. Yes, but it's also a demand, a challenge, to those in power, to my fellow citizens. Do we want to live in a country that eats its young? That punishes creativity and rewards conformity? Or do we want a Czech Republic that is truly innovative, truly free, truly just? The choice is ours. But time is running out. The cost of inaction is far greater than the price of the comfortable illusions they sell us. We must choose, and we must choose wisely, before it's truly too late for us all.